Alright, now that we have a background image for our die, it's time to add some spots to it. So I think the first thing we're going to want to do is come down to the timeline, layer 1, and let's extend out how far the image is. Come to frame number 6 and press F5. Okay, so it's going to be there for 6 frames. So insert a new layer, right click, press insert, and let's go ahead and name these background. Call this one dots, and let's add another one, and we'll call this one actions, and that's for later. Okay, we're going to need 6 faces of the die, so let's just go ahead and give a keyframe for each of these faces by pressing F6 5 times. Come back to frame 1 and we'll start building our dots. Come over here to the rectangle tool and click on this little arrow here, and you get the other options. And we're going to select oval, the oval tool, and change our color to a gradient, and a radial, and we're going to switch these around. Let's make it black on one side and white on the other, so that the black is in the center. Okay, again we're going to press the shift, and this time we're going to include the alt key so we can get a perfect circle that doesn't move on us. And get the selection tool. Let's put that right in the center. So this is going to be face number 1. We're going to only want one dot right in the center. Come back up here to free transform tool and select the gradient transform tool. Click on it. Let's get a bit closer and expand it. Okay, and we're going to take the darkest point, which is the center of the gradient, and move it over to the left. Okay, and in fact let's shrink that down some. So we want this to look kind of white if we can. Let's come back to 100 and see how that looks. No, it's still not quite good. There, that looks like a white dot. Now, we need some more dots for the background, so let's come back to the selection tool, grab it, do a Control C to copy it, and a Control V to paste it. Where did it go? Control Z on that. Come up closer to where we want it, and then we'll do our Control V. And come back to the free transform tool and make it look like it's squished. Okay, selection tool, bring it here, free transform tool, make it smaller. Let's do another Control V. Okay, that looks pretty good. Another Control V, and this time we'll turn it this way. Make it smaller again. bigger in the front. Okay. Now the gradient for these three of the color is actually where we want it, but these ones aren't quite, so let's fix them. Let's put them over here. Okay, so it looks like we've got 3 dots. In fact, let me grab the selection tool and turn these a bit, free transform tool, because they're not quite where I want them. Now, the problem is we have snapping on. And if we undo that, and then maybe we can get this to turn a little bit. Okay, back to 100%. That looks pretty good. And there we have dots for our first side. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in the dots for all the other 5 sides, and I will see you in section 3.